Yes, good morning to all my fellow Americans. Here once again requesting the freedom of Roger Stone. There's the number to call 202-456-1414. This man was kidnapped from his home, even though he's innocent, and he's in prison right now, actually in prison. He shouldn't be there. It was a conspiration by the extreme left, controlled by the Democrat Party, which has now turned completely communist. Good morning to you all. Good morning to all my fellow members of the DAV, Disabled American Veterans. Chapter 11. There's another political prisoner who I'm going to show, and he's not the only one. Here's another one. This one is from Cuba, like always, requesting the freedom of Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia. This man was also kidnapped from his home. The same thing they did to him, they did to Roger Stone. Just like Roger Stone happened to him and the rest of the other political prisoners that are in the hellish prisons of Cuba, just for expressing their concern and their indignation against the corruption of the communists, the same communists which has taken over the Democrat Party. Him, and I think it's about 126 or 25, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there, the amount of political prisoners that were kidnapped from their home and are being imprisoned in the island of Cuba. Also, we're requesting the freedom of the political prisoners' flag. The signal just went off for a couple seconds, but hey, just in case, remember my blog, because there's a lot of news posted in that blog. Okay, let me go to From the Religion of Peace. Canada, this is in Canada. Islamic scholar says, don't take Jews or Christians as friends. Religion of Peace. Doing so is more dangerous than the coronavirus. So why don't they leave the country and go back to where they came from? Why don't they go back to the hellhole they came from? What right gives them to come over here and reject us? You know, you go back. We don't need you here. Who the hell you think you are? You better than anybody? Get the hell out of here. That's what they should do. This. Get the hell out of our country. Go back. You don't like our American flag, you don't like our Constitution, you don't like our freedom, get the hell out. Go back. Including those Democrats who support them, like Bernie Sanders and the whole DNC, the rest of the whole DNC, Pelosi, and all of them. You don't like it? Go with them. Okay. I'm going to try to be short because there's a lot. I can't, I can't go through every one of them one by one. I'm going to try to go to the videos, but the videos, even though there are a lot of them, I'm going to go to the most important ones. Because like I say, there's just too much news. I mean, a lot of news. The title of this one is A Star is Born by Mark Dice, one of my best. I don't know what happened here. I didn't touch anything. And it just goes off. When it decides it wants to go off, it'll go off by just switching the cellular phone.
Just when all hope seemed lost and none of the kids know what gender they are in need of safe space to protect them from basic facts about life while they indulge in an endless stream of insanity through social media, comes a ray of sunshine.
And where do you suppose it all starts? No, really, where do you think it comes from?
Children ask questions about sexual orientation and transgenderism.
Yes, I'm sure they do. Not. Why would a child ask about this?
What are the different gender identities? That's a really, really exciting question to ask.
Exciting for who? Look at this poor girl's face. There's an adult introducing her to sexual stuff. She might.
There's a reason, but go ahead and say it in case your fellow classmates are too young to understand what's going on.
This normalization of sexual discussions around children is literally a tactic employed by predators to take advantage of them.
This is Cringe Panda, and I gotta say, after seeing one of this girl's videos, I think she's a genius. She put together this 30-minute video completely dismantling how the public schools are indoctrinating the kids and brainwashing them to accept the leftist agenda. The bad news is she only has 5,000 subscribers because her channel's brand new, and we all know how the algorithm is. So I'm going to leave a link to it down in the description below so we can help her out.
I have an identity that you might categorize as intersectional.
No, this is not a circus.
Be sure to subscribe to Cringe Panda. That is, until YouTube bans her, because we know they can't allow a kid to dare think for themselves and doubt the liberal indoctrination. In fact, they already gave her a community guideline strike for hate speech. I'm sure it was just a mistake, though. Probably just a glitch in the algorithm. Oh, wait, what's this? They gave her a second strike 12 hours later. Hi, Cringe Panda. As you know, our community guidelines describe the content we allow and don't allow on YouTube. Your video, How Important is Cultural Diversity at Your School, was flagged for review. Upon review, we've determined that it violates our guidelines, and we've removed it from YouTube. How dare she not love cultural diversity? Red alert! Some in Generation Z appear to be immune to our propaganda. Delete her channel immediately. I just happened to notice that at one point in a previous video, she added a little note that said, I didn't mean to bounce like Mark Dice. Apparently, she felt like she was moving around too much while she was talking because, as you know, I just can't sit still while I'm ranting. This is just great because now when BuzzFeed writes an article complaining about her, they're going to blame me. This kid's been watching your YouTube channel and now she's making videos of her own. Mr. Dice, did you inspire this child? You don't have to answer that question. I'll answer the question. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I'm tired of the liberal media industrial complex brainwashing kids, so I make videos in my kitchen on my laptop, but I'm glad that they're watching them. I never even thought about how old the people were who were watching my videos. I just figured they'd be in college or older. But if teenagers are watching them too, I couldn't be happier. So you admit it. You helped put these ideas in her head. You're damn right I did. Breaking news. Mark Dice has radicalized this poor innocent kid, and now she thinks there are only two genders and believes that marriage is between I'm sorry to say this, between a man and a woman. And she's not celebrating diversity either. Of course, that's a big problem. But kids being inspired to dress up in drag after watching RuPaul's Drag Race, that's fantastic. Here's ABC News celebrating it.
His inspiration?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
America's Next Drag Superstar, the winner of this year's RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh my God! Of course, ABC News is not reporting on this because it's horrifying. They're literally doing it to glorify it. Just like Good Morning America, welcome to Desmond is Amazing. Please welcome Desmond Napolis, a.k.a. Desmond is Amazing. Up until recently, it's basically been just a handful of YouTubers who have risked our career denouncing this kind of thing. But it is inspiring now to see some in Generation Z, like Soph and Cringe Panda, speak out against it.
Well, a lot of Democrats are
Especially with
there.
their age group, which has been targeted for the brainwash. Look at this. YouTube even has a full documentary called Drag Kids promoting this. In a world where degenerate YouTubers like Tana Mojo and Gabby Hanna have millions of young fans, it gives me hope that some in Generation Z aren't drinking the liberal Kool-Aid. Of course, if Cringe Panda was spewing liberal talking points, she would be brought before the United Nations like Greta Thunberg to lecture the world leaders about what they should be doing. How dare you? But instead, I'm sure BuzzFeed will denounce her soon and then blame right-wing YouTubers for poisoning her mind. Oh, by the way, speaking of Greta Thunberg's favorite, head over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below. Enter the promo code Corona at the checkouts and check them out.
Dice is great. Dice, you're great. See how important is cultural diversity at your school? Let's see this one. I think this is another one from Mark Dice. Oh no, this is from the same girl, but this is another one. Let's see this one. This one is great too. You gotta see this one. This little girl, she's really good, very, very good. Another born, like he said, another star is born.
Alright, so I moved to a new school district and I'm putting my daughter Ashley, she starts her freshman year. And I really love the school. It's real progressive, there's a lot of high academics. They teach kids just not only the academics, but to have a social conscience about how important it is to recycle, global warming, all of that. So I'm really excited about being there. There's just one problem I noticed, and that is a diversity problem. The school lacks diversity. So I brought this problem up to the local school board, and they're really receptive to it. And they said, Sarah Paul, we want you to be our diversity coordinator to help fix this problem. So this is going to be a video log over the next few years explaining how that effort is going. Little background, the Pleasant Valley school system is probably 90% either white or Asian, so it really lacks that vibrancy. And that's what my argument was, that cultural diversity is important for a couple reasons. First, it's important for our kids because this is a global environment and we need kids to interact with other cultures so they become more tolerant. They understand culture issues, that they raise your culture IQ. They say you have like an academic IQ, there's also a culture IQ. The second reason is that it's just the right thing to do. When I accepted this position, I went to the inner city and looked at some of these disadvantaged youths. And one of these people I met was a guy named Jerome. He had the biggest, happiest smile you could ever see, and it just warmed my heart. He comes from a family of 5. His mother is a single mother. God bless her trying to raise 5 kids alone with no father. And he goes to a school that I went to, and I was shocked. There's graffiti everywhere, there's trash, there's security guards everywhere. You have to go through a metal detector. I detected hostility everywhere. The test scores are horrible. And one of the things that really hit me is, why should Jerome have to go to a school like that with really no hope, when just across, 10 miles down the road was this affluent school with all these opportunities? And obviously the reason is simple, it's racism. And the way we can combat this ridiculous racism is to allow these good schools to be available for everyone. And that's what my goal is as a diversity consultant or the diversity coordinator. It's my first yearly update. It's been 1 year and I have some great progress to say. I have some challenges, but we got some progress. The first progress is that the school system of Pleasant Valley is no longer 90% non-diverse. Now we have 30% diversity in the school system. It's like a huge victory. I'm really excited. All right, that's the good part. Now, there are some challenges that we're working on. One of the challenges we're working on is behavior problems, and some, I hate to say it, but there's some patterns of discrimination that are happening. Because we looked at the records of the past year, and there's a lot of kids getting suspended, and a disproportionate amount of them are disadvantaged youths that we brought in, the diversity. Remember that guy I talked about last year, that happy-go-lucky kid with a big smile, always wants to make people laugh? Well, he's real talkative, and he was in his math class, for example, and he was talking, goofing around, he was doing a new funky dance or whatever, and he wouldn't stop. The teacher told him to stop it, so because he didn't stop right away, he got suspended. Another problem is that the test scores are really starting to dip, and because of these disadvantaged kids are just as smart as the white kids, so it's obvious that the teachers are not teaching them, they're not being relevant to them. It's kind of like Jerome, and with the behavior, these teachers need to unlearn their patterns of bigotry and racism and deal with kids the way they are. They're all not the same, and that more disadvantaged kids are getting suspended and are getting lower scores tells me there's a failure on the part of the teachers and administrators, a bunch of white people, if I must be honest, and they're not adapting. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to have mandatory diversity classes for them. I'm going to have these cultural events, and we're going to continue to push diversity so they can learn and unlearn their bad behaviors, because we can be a great school. I already feel it's a lot more vibrant. It's exciting. So that's my update for this year. I'll talk to you next year. This is the second yearly update. Well, there's been progress. The good news is the school is 50% diverse in the school, and the SWAT team had to be called out. Unfortunately, Jerome, remember that kid? He's a good kid. He just made some bad choices, and I guess someone was mad dogging him. I don't know what mad dogging means, but he says someone mad dogged him, and so he took out a knife and stabbed the other kid, and it created a diversity problem. Now, I'm not blaming the kids. I'm really blaming the teachers and administrators, because I talked to the community leaders, and one of the perspectives they gave, this is hard for the kids to relate to a teacher or administrator that's a different color than them, that doesn't look like them. So I'm pushing for a program that we can get rid of these stupid old white teachers and get some diversity in the teaching administration to help with this problem. I think that'll help. Unfortunately, we're already losing a lot of the white population because, let's face it, there's a lot of racists out there, and they don't understand the importance of experiencing this diversity. But we're gonna stop it. We're gonna make this a great school. I'm convinced this is gonna be a great school. Yeah, our school is officially an at-need school now because our test scores have plummeted. But again, I think we have teachers that are not connecting with our diversity students. So we need to fix that, and we will fix that. I promise you. Otherwise, my name is not Wolf Hall. Because troublemakers aren't exclusive to just one race or anything. Anyone can be that. There's just a few bad apples, and we're going to crack down on those bad apples. We're going to put metal detectors in, and we got a lot more security staff down in the school to help with that effort. And we're going to do random pat-downs. So I think that's really going to help the school be a safer environment for your children. Should all work. This is my year 3 final update. I've made a lot of progress. The school is now 70% diverse, and that is an excellent thing. Unfortunately, I'm having to pull my daughter out of the school because the environment's horrible. There's crime, low test scores, and it's not. No one's to blame for it. It's just the administration, the teachers, the failure to really adopt a progressive mindset. This really led to this. So. Anyway, I just, it has nothing to do with race or anything like that, no. I just need to move to a different and safer school, so. I actually found one, it's really great, they're really progressive, they have great academics, I think my daughter will do great there. It just has one problem, it's not a very diverse school. So I'm gonna talk to the school board about that and see if I can fix it. Talk to you guys later.
Let's go to the next one. Okay, some more. Like I said, it's a lot. Kamala Harris again in the news. Let's see this one here about Joe Biden again. He doesn't even know where he's at. Half of the time. More than half of the time.
Joe Biden bombs yet another media interview, talks gibberish about Pell Grants. I'm Josh Bernstein filling in for Gary Frenchie in the Next News Network. Now, before I get to that story, folks, remember Next News is being heavily censored and taken out of suggested videos. So please do us a favor. Make sure you're still subscribed. You're getting your notifications. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please check out the newsletter in the description below.
Before I go further, all of us have fears and stresses. I'm willing to bet that one of them is probably about money. Now, since 2015, gold has been on the rise, but you still have time to get it before it's out of reach. Create your financial.
Let's get to your story here. According to Christina Laley for the Gateway Pundit, Dementia Joe put his no malarkey tour on hold, is currently practicing social distancing. Well, that's a good thing, especially when it comes to little girls and boys. Because of the coronavirus, He has been giving briefings and interviews from his home. The Biden-Obama Democrat was talking gibberish about Pell Grants during his at-home coronavirus briefing. I'm going to, Barack, significantly increase the number of Pell Grants that are out there. A Pell Grant is a family basically less than 50,000 you're able to get at the time. It was less than 6, but it raised it to 6,000, said Dementia Joe. Go ahead and roll this clip.
I'm going to, Barack, significantly increase the number of Pell Grants that are out there. A Pell Grant is a family, basically less than $50,000. You're able to get it at the time. It was less than 6, but he raised it to 6.
What? Hello? What did he say? Look, if this is what they've got, I mean, President Trump should be feeling pretty good. Because whoever runs against President Trump, President Trump's not running against Dementia Joe. President Trump is running whoever the VP is. Biden is trying to appeal to the younger college age vote. Yeah, like they're going to come out and support him. In order to tap into Bernie's base. Yeah, good luck with that. But you know what? It's such a disaster. As I said before, this is elder abuse, allowing this guy to continue like this. He needs to be put into a home, not out on a campaign trail or even doing these types of briefings. It's embarrassing, you know? As Americans, we should feel embarrassed that we have someone that's trying to become president that is like this. All I can say is whoever the VP is really who President Trump is running against. And I think in the end, especially with this coronavirus and the American people being able to see him truly lead on all this and to keep us safe, I think he's going to be in good shape. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. Give us a like, give us a share. Continue to watch the Next News Network. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Franchi. If you want
Okay, let's go to the next one.
check out the Josh Bernstein Show on YouTube and now also streaming on Roku TV. And we'll see
Joe
you
Biden is
on the
Lord.
next one.
Reminds me of this
Thank you for watching that last
TV
report.
series, Lost in Space. Well, NBC is terrified over Trump's last polling numbers. They should be. They better be. With Joe Biden and communist Bernie Sanders, it's a surprise that they still exist. That's a problem.
MSNBC host is terrified over President Trump's latest polling numbers. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Franchi in the Next News Network. Now, before I get to that story, folks, remember Next News being heavily censored and taken out of suggested videos. So please do us a favor. Make sure you still subscribe. You're getting your notifications. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please check out the news that are in the description below. Now, let's get to your story here. According to Mike LaChance from American Lookout Reports, Trump's approval numbers are going up and up and up, and you can see the worried faces on many in the left-wing media. Over at NBC News, Andrea Mitchell recently spoke to former Obama campaign manager Jim Messina and lamented that President Trump's numbers, while she spoke of Joe Biden's campaign, is on hold. In frustration, she said, no matter what he says, people seem to be seeing him as a leader. At least more people do. Well, yeah, obviously, because he is leading. Go ahead and roll this clip.
There is politics involved. We've heard very little from, for instance, the most likely nominee of the Democratic Party, Joe Biden. He's having difficulty projecting through this crisis as the campaign goes totally on hold. And we're also seeing some polls indicating the president's approval ratings among Democrats and independents skyrocketing to their highest levels yet. It's some 60% approval ratings for the way he's handling this crisis as he continues to hold these briefings. The briefings are working for the president. No matter what he says, people seem to be seeing him as a leader. At least more people do.
Yeah, as you know, you and I share a healthy skepticism on public polling. And I think, what polling shows right now is not going to be what happens, right? The problem President Trump has is he's made a bunch of promises that have turned out to be wrong on this virus.
Mitchell has good reason to be concerned. Trump is handling this crisis well, and it's driving them insane. But you know what? The only thing I really want to add to that is that the reason the media wants him to stop doing these, press conferences is because they know that they can't control him. And because they can't control him, they can't control the narrative. And when they can't control the narrative, they lose grip over their power. And that's why President Trump should not only continue to do these types of press conferences, but he's showing true leadership. And I'll tell you this, man, I hope that there is never another politician that ever runs for president again. I hope there's no lawyers that run. I hope there's no educators or professors that run. We are proving with President Trump that a solid business background is the best thing for this nation, because he is handling things as if we are a business, and thank goodness he's doing that. And that's why we're getting the results that we're
Bingo.
getting. And that's why, as Americans, we should all feel comfortable knowing that President Trump's got this. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. Give us a like, give us a share. Continue to watch the Next News Network. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Franchi. If you want to learn more about me, check out the Josh Bernstein Show on YouTube and now streaming on Roku TV. And we'll see you on the next report.
Thank you for watching that report. Let's talk about where we are right now. Yes, the spread of the coronavirus is pretty frightening. Steve?
Another star is born, another future president for the Republican Party.
This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to JamieGlazoff.com. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube
Glasgow's
channel.
another great source of news
To order
besides
Jamie Glazow's
Next
new
News
critically acclaimed
Network.
jihadist psychopath. How he is charming, seducing, and devouring us. All your support is greatly appreciated.
And that's why you needed Donald Trump. Okay? You needed someone as a conservative who doesn't care about being loved or liked. I don't want the nice guy in the world running our country, because guess what, guys? He's not going to be able to make the tough decisions. I don't want the guys, the sort of the Mitt Romneys of the world, who want to be loved by the media and will say and do anything to achieve that goal, despite those being the same people that destroyed him when he ran, but he didn't have the guts to push back. That's the difference, right? And so in these crazy times, Donald Trump is the guy that you need. You need a fighter. He has shown conservatives that you can push back. He has shown conservatives you don't just have to lose because the other side would love you to.
There you go. Great. We're going to have a lot of Trumps until maybe 2040. Let's go to the next one. I love Trump. Trump takes these reporters, these leftist reporters, and just wipe the floor with them.
I'd also like to ask you about some comments you made on Friday. You were talking about governors of different states, and you said, I want them to be appreciative. You also said, if they don't treat you right, I don't call. These are direct quotes, sir.
Excuse me, ready? Take a look at what I said. I want them to be appreciative of me, okay? And then you cut it off because it's fake news.
You and of your administration,
Please, let me just finish it. You just said it again, and you know the answer's a lie. You know
I could read you your full comments, sir.
Let me just say, look, your statement and your response and your answer is a lie. Because here's the story. You ready? I said, I want you to be appreciative of me, and then you go on, and then I go on, and you cut it off. But it says
you said,
because
I
when
want
you're
them to be appreciative. I don't want them to say things that aren't true. I want them to be appreciative. We've done a great job. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Mike Pence, the task force. I'm talking about FEMA, the Army Corps of Engineers.
Thank you.
But then you went on to say, if they don't treat you right, I don't call. He's a different type of person.
I don't call.
Referring to
No, I don't call. No, I don't call the governor of Washington.
Why in this time?
But Mike Pence calls, and the head of FEMA calls. I don't stop them. Did I ever ask you to do anything negative, Mike, to Washington, the state of Washington? Michigan, I love that state. That's one of my favorite places in the whole world, Michigan. And I'm so proud of what's happened with the auto industry. It's coming back to Michigan. No, I don't have to call because I'm probably better off not, because we don't get, he's a failed presidential candidate. He's a nasty person. I don't like the governor of Washington. So you know who calls? I get Mike Pence to call. I get the head of FEMA to call. I get the admiral to call. But what you didn't say, so you started it off and you talked about, I have to be appreciative. But then when you read the rest, you said, because if you don't appreciate, you're not respecting these incredible people, the two admirals, you're not appreciating FEMA and the Army Corps of Engineers who built 2,900 beds in 3.5 days, and you're not appreciating all of the work that's been done, and you're not appreciating these incredible people from private enterprise that are delivering things in numbers that nobody's ever seen. See, and that's why people aren't watching CNN very much anymore. That's why they don't like it. That's why your ratings are no good. Because you, even after knowing the truth for days now, you bring up the old lie. Read the rest of your question, the rest of your statement. You didn't put in. You have to put that in. And it's said in there, FEMA, and it's said in there, Army Corps of Engineers, because when they disrespect me, they're disrespecting our government. And you know what? I don't mind if I'm disrespected, but they can't disrespect the Army Corps of Engineers and FEMA. Okay.
Why is the lack of a
Please go ahead. I want them to appreciate the incredible job we're doing. We are doing a job the likes of which has never been done before. And there are a couple of people that know that. But for political reasons, let's say they're Democrats, they don't want to give this administration credit, and that's okay. But I don't have to deal with them. But our vice president does deal with them. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr.
But that's
President.
why CNN is not trusted anymore. They are not trusted. They are fake news. Remember that.
Bravo for Trump. Wow, this guy is just great. Oh, wow. So much news. Well, let me put this one. I'll put this one as the last one. But like I said, there's a whole bunch. Go to my blog. You're going to see more. You want to read? You're going to see. There's a lot to read.
Joe Rogan puts the final nail in Joe Biden's 2020 election, talking about while he's talking. A video clip that Rogan played on his show went viral this week on social media. For example, during an interview on ABC's The View, Dementia Joe struggled to make a coherent statement about curing the coronavirus, saying we have to take care of the cure that will make the problem worse no matter what. Joe Biden's Democrat rivals have also called his fitness for office into question during the primary contest. Well, clearly, I've said this many times and I'll say it again. We are witnessing the worst case of elder abuse ever recorded, practically, certainly in public. I mean, this guy is completely unaware of what's going on. He is losing his marbles. He's in at minimum stage 1, if not stage 2, dementia. And, the angry outbursts, all of those things are part of it. And who knows what's going to happen? I mean, he's going to pick whoever he's going to pick as his running mate, some female, whatever. That'll be the person who's ultimately running against President Trump, because this guy clearly isn't running against anything. He's running against Father Time, I guess. But I think it's a pretty sad situation. But again, it's good for the country, because as long as President Trump wins, honestly, that's all that matters. Because as I've said many times, and I'll say again, this election is truly Trump or death. And I mean, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. Give us a like, give us a share. Continue to watch the Next News Network. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Franchi. If you want to learn more about me, check out the Josh Bernstein Show on YouTube and now streaming on Roku TV. And we'll see you on the next one.
Okay, this will be it.
Thank you for
This will
watching.
be it for today. Like I said, there's a lot more. There's a lot more and very good news from the same new news network. These people are great. Another great source of information, short and to the point. But if you want to see other sources, which I listen to, there's Dan Bongino's another great source of information. This guy is great. I mean, he was great. I used to listen a lot to Michael Savage, but then Michael Savage was all about him and him. And no, I want to do this. I'm not going to talk about this. And no, I don't care what the people say. And if you don't like it, go change the channel. Well, that's what I did. I changed the channel, went to Dan Bongino, who's a great source. He doesn't run around. He doesn't evade his people. And he talks about what's really happening, which is the truth. So, like I always say, Donald Trump, God bless you. You're the best. You're the best. Too bad, well, we had to deal with this crisis. But hey, it's unfortunate, and I know we're going to get over it soon. Summer's coming now, and the virus can't survive the heat of the summer. So that's going to be one point where it's going to help eliminate. And from now on, I'm advising the country, use masks when you go out, use gloves. Instead of shaking hands, why don't we do like in the 17th century before Thomas Jefferson came with the idea of shaking hands? It used to be that you would bow. It's not a bad idea. The Japanese do it. They bow. They don't shake hands. They just go over to you and they bow. That's a great way of dealing with viruses because there's no way you can spread it with your hands. So we should stop that. And these, I really didn't like, I didn't really like it because of that, because of the viruses. And one reason, I stopped going to the churches too. Women coming over to you and hugging and kissing. Stop that too. Stop it. I think it's immoral. I think it's unhealthy. Well, it depends because there's some people who do it because they love you or whatever. But, some of them might have some other intentions, and it should be stopped. Stop that habit. It's dangerous and it's unhealthy. It's not sanitarily healthy. So we should take the advice of a lot of the people of the past because they used, common sense. The Japanese have used it for centuries. Do you think it's a bad idea? Am I wrong? Well, like I always say, Trump, God bless you. I always pray for you. I always pray for your family. I always pray to God, please protect them and God bless our country eternally. And protect us from this evil movement of trying to impose communism on the United States. And Islamism and fascism too. They're all three are dangerous and deadly. But the Democrat Party has changed all that by just going to the extreme right. So, like I say, I also pray for Israel. I stand with God and Israel eternally. And I always pray